What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Jay and I work for Traveland RV, and today we're going to take a look at the 2026 Airstream Rangeline. This is one of my favorite vans. I thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I'm going to take you through and show you what I like, maybe something I dislike, and all the new features and benefits for 2026. Let's do it. So the Rangeline has been out since 2023, and it's had its ups, it's had its downs, but I really think this new model has figured out a lot of the problems that you've seen in the past and made a lot of improvements, which I think is really going to be attractive to the new buyers. On the exterior, you have the blacked out badging, which makes a really sleek look. We have the blacked out wheels. One of the newer features that came out last year is instead of putting those tinny RV speakers in the exterior, they just put a JBL mount here for the JBL speaker that you have on the inside, which I thought was kind of nice. Down here we've got some electrical outlets right here, and right here we've got a coax cable. Now they've added a bit to the suspension in the last few years. Let's get down and take a look at the Sumo springs. So why would you want Sumo springs on your RV? Well, you know, this is a fully loaded ProMaster. You're carrying a lot of weight, and that's really going to help out with the load. Down below, we've got the nice running boards with the dog leash tether, very pet friendly. We've got some LED accent lights down here for nighttime, and LED accents on the awning, which is now a Girard awning. They used to have the Thule. The Girard is one you'll see on the big, expensive diesel coaches. Very, very good awning. Another nice new aesthetic touch for 2026 is they put this nice Airstream logo on the front. Gives it a nice look, lets you know this is an Airstream driving down the road. We've got our entry steps here, making it a little bit easier to access the inside. It is a bit of a hike up to that driver's seat, so one more step's gonna help you out getting in and out. On the utility side, a lot of these vans you will see, you know, the water heater, the furnace, the plumbing, everything's kind of sticking out of the side. And when you're parked, it really screams camper van. I know this one has a pop top, so it's obviously a camper van. But Airstream's all about aesthetics, design, quality. So you won't really see any hookups down the side here. Where you're gonna find them is down here at the bottom. So you have your smart plug right here. You've got your sewer dump right here. And all of your water hookups are hidden behind this locked away panel. Coming around to the back, this has got the Hydronic gas and electric heating system, so there's no propane on this coach. And they've even gone to the lengths of putting chrome tips on the generator and the furnace exhaust. I mean, it's the small things, right? It's an Airstream. You expect all the details. Here in the back, you've got a tow hitch. You're rated at 3,500 pounds. It's got the 7 and 4 pin wiring. And people always ask, what are these little things here? Well, your generator sits pretty darn low, so if you ever got in a situation where you're gonna bottom out, these little skid bars here are gonna hit the bottom before that generator does. This is where you keep your sewer hose. Up top, you've got two cameras. One is for your rear view mirror, and one is for your backup camera, which is pretty nice. It's a big camera with the lines that guide you in. On the back, we got the Molly panels we can strap gear to. You know, if you got a hatchet, a little shovel, first aid kits, your sewer hoses, your power cords, you can hang all that stuff here, and you've got room between the door and the wall to store some of those items, which is really nice, especially for your power cord and your water hoses and things. There's always like, where am I gonna put it? Am I gonna fill up one of these cubbies, or can I just hang it off the door? I really like this feature. This is the pop top, so it comes with a ladder. I like to strap it up here. This is the crank for your manual new Girard awning. And in these boxes, you got floor mats, guys. You got floor mats for the garage, for the walkway, for the dinette, for the front. You know, a lot of these expensive camper vans, you could spend a couple $100,000 and you don't even get floor mats. But it's an Airstream, so of course you will. Okay guys, let's take a look at the inside, but if you're liking what you're seeing so far, do me a favor, hit subscribe, it really helps me out, and a like and a comment wouldn't hurt either. All right, let's take a look inside. So before we come in, I actually really like this. sliding screen door. Very nice, very easy versus the kind of roll out zip up ones. But on this channel, I like to keep it real. I like to keep it honest. I might prefer the roll out zipper ones because this one's a little bit delicate, okay? So because we're kid and pet friendly with the pop top and all the dog features, I would worry about this getting damaged by kids and pets. But hey, nobody's perfect. There's a lot of really good stuff to talk about too. Coming in, let's take a look at the details. So we have a woven pressed vinyl flooring. This stuff is super durable. If you step on a pebble, it's not gonna leave a dent like it would on a vinyl floor. And this is from the yachting industry, so it's a good quality material, easy to clean. Stainless steel coverings instead of plastic, that's what I like to see. Solid laminated wood. You've even got little liners in here where you put your shoes. And this handle is wonderful because, you know, if you're a little mobility challenged or you just like to be safe, you can grab right here, you can grab right here. It's really gonna help people out getting in and out of this coach, even though it's not super high off the ground. Safety matters. Isn't that right, guys? All right, let's kick off the shoes and I'll show you some of the inside features. All right, starting off in the cab, pretty easy to get in and out. We've got the RAM ProMaster 3500, and this is gonna come with every bell and every whistle that Airstream could find. So you've got the backup camera, since you can't see out the back very well. But if you need to check on what's going on, you also have a mirror. So you've got both options there. On the wheel, we got the horn. We have power windows, power folding mirrors. We've got adaptive cruise control. You know, nothing overly complicated, but it's a lot better than a typical motorhome or an RV. We've got the digital dash, digital display here, HVAC controls, power locks. You know, it's got the lane assist. You can turn that off. That's the first thing that I would do. I don't like to be babysat when I'm driving. The wireless RAM charger, some cup holders. But what I really like about this RAM, honestly, is this backup camera. It's huge. And it gives you a really good view, and the lines will turn to guide you into your spot. Because let's be honest, this is a big motorhome. You know, it's nice to have that big, wide open view. You can see your trailer hitch right here when you're hooking up. The lines will help you out. I absolutely love that part about it. Now, when you get parked, pull this little lever right here, and you can spin your seat around for the camping position at your table. And it's a nice table, you know, if you lift it up, you can slide it back and forth. It's got an extension on it, so you can use it for extra space. You can use it for a desk on this chair. Just swing that one around. Got the table over here, and it sets itself up for a really nice position. See, if you're working on the road, you can put your laptop here, get some work done, and the chairs are super comfy, so it's not gonna be a sacrifice. You can get it done and then go outside and go for a hike. Now on your passenger seats, these are great for kids, and I'll tell you why. I've got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they're in car seats. I could use the shoulder straps, but I prefer the car seats. So they actually have car seat tethers, 2 anchors here, and you can strap them in on the back. So on this particular model, you could have little kids in car seats properly set up. They don't have to sit sideways. You don't have to use that, you know, over the lap belt. That's one thing as a dad I really do appreciate. Another thing is you've got the sliding windows. Okay, so you can get a little bit of fresh air right here. And instead of putting blinds on, they just went with something really simple, Velcro. So there's Velcro canvas kind of blinds for all your windows, and they just roll up. I don't have them installed right now, but instead of putting big valances or, like, you know, shades that might wear out or break over time, simple, effective, I love it. Okay, new 2026 feature that I am super excited about, and all the Rangeline owners out there are gonna tell me, why did it take so long to figure this out? This should have been that way from the beginning, and I agree. So this right here, your Xantrax inverter. It is a 3,000 watt inverter, and it inverts the whole house. Every single thing in here can run off of this inverter. In the past, and this is one of my negatives, the plug that you had to use for your cooktop over here was down over here. And people would always say, like, what the hell? You've got this power station right here, okay? But they're not inverted. Well, Airstream's been listening. It took a little longer than I would have liked, but this is now inverted. So you can use that cooktop inside, outside, and you can use all of your household plugs without having to run your generator or plug into shore power. Cabinets are basically the same. They still get the really nice hardware. You know, they're a little hard to open and close. And the reason for that is when you're driving down the road, some RVs are known to have these cabinets pop out and all of your things spill out. If you had glass in there, like cups or plates, could cause some damage, could fall on the kids. So they put heavy duty springs that are meant to last a long time and keep your stuff from going flying everywhere. We've got a little bit of storage up here. These are those blind materials that we use. Got the LED strip light. On your home screen here is great. You've got a cinema mode that'll take all your lights down. You've got a low dim mode, and you've got your full mode. The way you used to have to do it is you'd have to go and push each one of these buttons for each light and hold it down, and it works, but these extra mode buttons here work better. Got your HVAC generator. It's got a tank heater for those shoulder season months. When it's a little bit chilly, goes below 0. That'll help keep your water tanks from freezing up. Okay. And of course, you have the Mira mobile app. Just scan this, enter this code, and you can have everything here on your mobile device. You also have low voltage and HVAC triggers for your automatic generator. So if you happen to need it, say your battery goes below 12.5 volts, you turn that on and your generator will manage itself so you don't come home to a dead battery after a long hike. Now I mentioned the gas-fired heater. So this is your Timberline hydronic system. So you've got a front zone and a rear zone. So you hit this and it'll use the gasoline in your tank to create heat. If you click this, it'll use your batteries to create heat or your shore power. You can hit both. You can select one depending on how you're set up and how you want to use your power. Your front zone and your rear zone, you can turn those on individually or turn them off individually. Great system, and that means there's no propane in this coach. So all you have to worry about, keeping a full tank of gas, keeping your batteries charged up. Okay, so let's take a look at the galley. So we've got our induction cooktop right here. We've got soft closed drawers, nice wood cabinetry. Of course, you would expect that from Airstream. You've got your designated garbage can with a place to put your extra garbage bags. This is a fake drawer. And the idea was just to look symmetrical, you know, have all the drawers matching, might as well make it look like a drawer. Another one here, working around the plumbing. Another one here. And one more down here for the bigger, maybe your pots, pans, stuff like that. We've got some hooks here to hang your keys. A lot of used RVs that I find have little plastic ones off Amazon. If people are going to put them on there, you might as well put nice ones on right from the factory. Couple little cubbies here to store some of your spices and things, your JBL soundbar, bamboo cutting board, stainless steel sink. Up above there, we've got a bit more storage. And above the microwave, we've got some more. And we've got the Contour microwave, in case you need some popcorn. We've got a nice little fridge. This is not the smallest fridge I've seen in a van. It's not the biggest, but, you know, this is a 20-foot, 11-inch van. You got to have a fridge. You know, if you got a bigger fridge, you lose something else. Down below there, we got our little dog dish drawer. So we get these spill-proof doggy dishes. If you don't have a dog, you can just take these out and you got more storage. But if you have one, you got a designated place to keep it. Now, here's something that I like right over here. They put a little lock on here. Because let's say you leave this out for your dogs and your dogs are bumping it and they close the drawer, now they have no food. So they put a little lock to keep it out so that only you can close it. The dogs aren't going to accidentally get rid of their water supply. So here in the bathroom, it's a small wet bath with a timbre door. Okay. Now, it's not the biggest bathroom in the world, but I'm 6'2", 220. Let's see. I actually have a bigger room. You know, I'm not super confined. I've seen bigger bathrooms before, but, you know, small van, small bathroom. At the end of the day, you're probably not going to be using it a ton if you have other bathrooms available. If you're stuck and you need to have a shower, it does have a shower. It's got a mirror if you need to fix your hair or shave. And it does have a sink that takes up very, very little space because, you know, some of us don't want to brush our teeth where we wash our food or wash our hands in the same place where we, you know, cook our food. So yeah, you've got everything. Little toilet paper holder right there. New feature for 2026, this fan used to be controlled up on that screen. So when you turn on the bathroom fan, you got to go all the way over there, turn the fan on, turn it off. They thought, you know what, let's simplify things. Just put it right next to the bathroom. Genius. Next to the bathroom, we've got some shelving here, and this is adjustable. So if you need bigger shelves, just take these out and you can make it any size that you want. This one down here, same idea. Okay, so you can take some of the shelves from up here, bring them down here. If you needed a place to hang a coat, they did set it up with a coat hanger, so you could remove all of these shelves, put them down here and have a place for your sweaters and your jackets so they don't just end up on the floor. In the garage, we've got the L-Track tie-down system. So you can get bike mounts, so you could put your bike in here, or you can just get little O-rings, so you could tie down maybe the dog kennels, or your luggage, or your kayak. You know, if it's a small enough kayak, you could run it all the way down here, strap it down. It's yours to do what you want with. You know, you make it how you want it to be. A little bit of storage here. And then underneath this part of the bed, this is where you would fill up the fluid for your furnace, because it does take a fluid, glycol. We've got some storage here. We've got some storage here. And to make the beds pretty easy, it does take two hands, but I'll see if I can do it with one. Just reach under here. Yeah. Lift. And drop. So you can do it one hand. If you got two hands, that's better, but I'm holding the camera. Flip this over, and we got a nice comfy bed for two right here. So that window opens, so you can get some cross breeze, and then you can run the vent fan up here, and that's going to pull that air from the back to the front, cool down the unit, take out the muggy air. Great for nighttime. Now to enter the bed, just pull this out, and you've got a little step with some grip tape on it. And to be honest, this bed is pretty comfy. I'm, like I said, 6'1", 6'2", and I fit just. So if you're 6'4", you might have to sleep kind of in the fetal position. Inverted plugs here, reading lights here. Yeah, there we go. And here. One other new feature. We always had this phone charger here, but now we've got another touchscreen in the bedroom. So you've got your low dim, your medium dim, your cinema mode. You've got your HVAC controls, your light controls, everything right here. Very, very nice. If you want a television, it's preset for a mounting bracket for a television right here, but from the factory, it doesn't come with one. It's kind of a DIY thing. A lot of people don't want a TV in their RV. They're going outside to get away from TV, but some of us do. Maybe you got little kids and you like to give them an hour of TV before bed. I get it. I don't judge. Speaking of kids, this is the kids' room up here. So you've got your LED lights. We've got LED reading lights. And I'm not going to go grab that ladder and set it up. I'm just going to hop on this seat right here to give you a better look. But it's got the Teddy Bear Bunk Series mattress. A lot of travel trailers have these. They're quite comfortable. This will open for fresh air and a better view. So will this. Vent fan for cooling. And yeah, you could fit two kids up here pretty comfortably. Now, I mean, for the headroom height, you know, with my height, I'm pretty much good all the way through. The air conditioner's way at the back, so I'm not going to have to worry about hitting my head there. But I can kind of walk front to back. I don't got to crouch or lean over or anything like that. I would say my number one favorite feature on the 2026 is this new inverter. This was the one thing that the Rangeline was always kind of lacking on. It was especially this plug right here, which is where you're cooking. It didn't work for your cooktop. Now everything works. So I really love that feature. I love the aesthetic. I love the look. I love the practicality. I think if you're a person who has kids, pets, or you just need room for gear, the Rangeline is an awesome option. But I want to know what you think. Leave me a comment. Do you think there's something in here that doesn't fit the bill? Is the bathroom too small? Is the bed too small? Is there something you would have done differently? Or do you think this could be a potential unit for you? Let me know in the comments. And like I said, if you like this video, why not subscribe? I make them all the time. And we're going into the slow season here in Alberta, so I'll be making a lot more. So stay tuned. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. See you next time.